There is a place in Mexico called the Island of the Dolls. As you may have guessed it, this site is famous for hundreds of dolls and doll parts hanging from trees and scattered among the grass. This island used to be the home of a man named Julian Barrera, and one day he found a dead girl's body in the canal. And since that day, he started to collect and display dolls and toys in hopes to keep away any evil spirits. Today, the island is believed to be haunted by the ghost of the drowned girl, and local legend even states that the dolls have been heard whispering to each other. They've been seen moving their heads and arms, and even opening their eyes. So this is just a very eerie area with an eerie history, but I'm still extremely fascinated by it.
This is why you should never talk to strangers. In the early 2000s, a young girl was waiting outside her friend's house peeling the bark off of a tree when a strange man approaches her. As he got closer, she could see that he was grinning ear to ear and his face was white as a ghost. He walks right up to her and pinches her on the arm and says, "How would you like it if I peeled your skin off?" Just then, her friend's mom yells for her to come inside and the man walks away. It would be years before the girl's mother would finally tell her who this man really was. Her friend's mom had seen the man pinch her on the arm and had immediately called the police, who quickly rounded this guy up. Plastered all across the inside of his van were dozens of pictures of this girl. But what they found in his storage locker is straight out of a nightmare. In the locker was a chair with hand and arm restraints. Next to it was an anatomy book and hundreds of torture tools.
There are two abandoned Disney World parks that people are forbidden to go to. In this first video, I'm going to be talking about a park called Discovery Island. This is located in the middle of Disney World's Bay Lake, and it's only accessible by boat. The purpose of Discovery Island was to showcase interesting birds and protect wildlife. It was housing 500 different endangered species. There were free-roaming birds, animal shows, treetop walking, and there were different areas of the park like Alligator Swamp, Flamingo Lagoon, Primate Point. But the island had to close this park on April 4th of 1999, and now you're not even allowed to get within 50 feet of its shoreline. Now there's many reasons why it closed. There were free roaming alligators everywhere, which was so dangerous. Apparently the animals were being treated really badly, and there was a deadly bacteria that was found in the park's waters. An 11-year-old was killed from a brain-eating bacteria. It freaked everybody out and probably ultimately led to the closure. If you ever see a random staircase in the woods, you have to get away as fast as you can. Never climb them. There was a story going around a couple years ago stating that there are abandoned staircases in national forests around the world, like deep, deep in the forest away from anybody. It's just a staircase, no other structure attached to it. Some stairs are in ruins, some are perfectly sturdy, some are iron spirals like the kind you'd find in a lighthouse, and they literally just reach up to nowhere. And there are so many different theories as to why these stairs are there and what actually happens when you climb them. Only a few have ever dared to climb the staircases, and the people who have report feeling unnerved and unwelcome or even nauseous when they're up on the stairs. Some people say the stairs lead to another dimension, other people say it leads to hell. Others say that's why so many people and kids go missing in national forests, because they climb these stairs and they're never seen again.
Believe it or not, this is a well-documented true story. In 1947, an American ship picked up a horrifying distress signal coming from an unidentified vessel. The first transmission was all officers, including the captain, are dead. The next transmission was the whole crew is dead. The last transmission was I die, and then silence. The Americans trace the signal back to a ship that's drifting off in the middle of the Indian Ocean. They quickly assemble a rescue team who boards the ship. They find the entire crew has perished in the exact same position. They are on their backs with their hands up as if fighting with some unseen force, and they look like this. There was no physical damage to the bodies or to the ship itself. However, even though it was 100 degrees outside, it was 40 degrees on the ship, and the bodies were rapidly decomposing. As soon as they tie up the ship to tow it in, it explodes, and then it sinks. To this day, no one knows what happened inside of that ship. Some say it was a chemical leak, others aren't so sure.